starting. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Today is November 9th, 2012. It's Friday, November 9th. I'm going to go over the trades that we took in the live trading room this morning and, other trades and stuff that's set up. To start out with, let me just go over my results. I ended with plus 10 ticks on the NQ, plus 4 ticks on gold, plus 5 ticks on crude oil, and minus 2 ticks on the ES. All right, that was my morning trading in the live trading room. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to thanks Robin, go to www.cfrn.net/apply and sign up for the free trial. If you are on the free trial, you should have something in your email about how to become a partner with us, how to become a member of CFRN, get all the indicators and everything you see here with 3 months of mentoring. It should be in your inbox. If it is not in your inbox, look in your spam. If it's not in your spam, then send an email to support@cfrn.net. Okay, send it over to support@cfrn.net, and we'll get you all the information you need. Okay, all the information you need to become a partner. All right. Now the recap. We were plus 10 ticks on the NQ, plus 4 ticks on gold, plus 5 ticks on crude, and minus 2 ticks on the ES. On the ES, we took a couple of trades, we missed a couple of trades, but I'll start right out with that, okay? You can see I drew this channel in here. I didn't draw the channel until toward the end of the morning session. I probably should have drawn it a little earlier. And you know what, the top looks like it could come down a little more like that. But anyway, we started the day off right here. I don't know why I have this circle way over here, but we started the day off right in here. All right, where price came down, it tapped the BBC and it moved up off it. I didn't see it doing that. That would have been a little pre-market. Oops, that would have been a little pre-market right there. So I wasn't in there to take that trade. Then it moved up, put in a higher swing, came back down, hit the BBC, and it pulled back about 10 ticks through the BBC before it started moving up again. There was a high-impact news event going on right in here. All right, we were back and forth around break-even with this trade for a little while, and then finally it moved down. I had a 6-tick stop on that, so it stopped me out for minus 6 ticks. All right, then the price moved up. It put in a nice higher swing over here. It pulled back down, tested the BBC again. I missed this one. I would have been putting an order on there, but I missed the trade. I do apologize for that. It put in a higher swing again, came back down, tested the BBC again. I did take this one. I got long here. And after it went up I think it went up 5 or 6 ticks, I put my stop at break even. Maybe it just went up 5 ticks, but I put my stop at break even, and it came back, took me out at break even, and then ran up a few points. Again, it pulled back down here. Again, it pulled back down here. I think that's Dwayne calling in. It pulled back down here, and I did take this long over here. I ended up taking 1 point out of it. Once it had moved up plus 6 ticks, I had put my stop up to break even. Dwayne, you are right in the middle of the recording. just so you know. Moved up. It moved up here.
I'll text him.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just going to mute him. Oh no, that's me. It moved up here plus 6 ticks, and then it kept going after that. All right, the thing kept moving up. Yeah, it kept moving up after that. Okay. All right. I'm trying to see where. Oh, you know what? I think he's called in under my ID. So I'll have to go down there. And nope, I don't know. Either way, it went up and it put in a double top here. It came back down through the BBC and it dropped down a little bit through the bottom of the channel. Now you can see this channel. This channel pretty much held the bottom. And what I was saying at the end of the morning session was we'll probably see it get up here to the weekly trading zone up above us at 86.87. Okay, so it did eventually get right up there at 86.87. couldn't have, well, I wouldn't have taken a trade here, nor would I have taken a trade over here. Okay. There may still be an opportunity right over here, but I'm not in it anymore. Anyway, I got 4 ticks profit on this one, minus 6 ticks on this one, so I was minus 2 ticks on the morning and 3 trades on the ES. Okay, I didn't take any trades over here on the YM, but the YM was very much like the ES in the movements that it had. Okay, in these movements, here we go. We had a bullish cross here, it pulled back down, and then it went back and forth quite a bit. But I was drawing in all these trend lines where there were opportunities in here. Okay, closes above. There was another one right in here. There were a few different opportunities in here where you could have taken some nice trades here on the YM. There's another one setting up right now, as a matter of fact. Let me just draw this trend line down as it approaches the BBC. Well, it hasn't hit the BBC yet, but then you'd look for the up close and look to take it off of that. There were a couple of pierces of the envelope down here. All right, when it pierced the envelope, that gives you an idea that it's going to move another 20 points from that level. All right, you can see every time it pierced the envelope this morning, it did move another 20 points. Eventually, every single time. Okay, and that was the YM. Now the NQ, I took a few trades on the NQ this morning. I think. Let's scroll back here and see what I did. All right, if anybody has any questions, just type them in as we go along, okay? Just type them in, and I will try to get your questions answered while I'm doing this recording as well. All right. Let's see, my first trade on the NQ was right in here, right after the open. I got long right in there. Once it moved up 5 or 6 ticks, I moved my stop to break even. It came back down, got me out of break even. Right after that, there was another opportunity right in here. I got long there and took some profit. Yeah, Frank. Just type them in. I'll answer them selectively. Okay. I got long again right there, and I took some profit. There were some more opportunities in here as price moved along. I'll show you right in here. Here was the trend line. Right there was the trend line, but we also had this with the trend line. We had a test of the BBC and a down close with bearish divergence, and then we came up here and bounced off the yellow line. Now, after not moving down from this close, not moving down from here, that suggested that it wasn't going to hold anymore, that this whole yellow line wasn't going to hold anymore. We're probably going to change directions. All right, we did, in fact, change directions. We went up and pulled back down. We had a little bullish divergence here. There were 2 ways you could have entered this trade. One was right in here, and another was right here. Okay, either one gave some profit. All right. Frank, to draw a trend line, it's in the members area in the last video, but what I grab is this thing right over here. You see, you grab this thing that says line. That allows you to draw, a start and end wherever you want. Okay, a start and an end wherever you want. And I drew, I draw down the tops as price approaches, either up the bottoms or down the tops as price approaches the BBC. Okay, when it gets to the BBC, that's when you stop drawing the trend line. If it changes on the way to the BBC, like, let's say this one right here, when it started from the bottom, once you have 2 lows in like that, then you can draw a trend line up the bottoms as it approaches the BBC. But then you had another low. So now, as it approaches the BBC, this becomes your trend line. Okay. All right. So that's all. It's all in the recording now. So this will be out on the recaps recording at some point. But that becomes your trend line, and then you just look for a close on the other side of that trend line. All right. Using it that way. But if you're looking for the divergence, the test of the BBC and the down close, then that's, we had plenty of those. We have those every single day. Right in here was an opportunity to short right there based on that. Okay, right in there. We had another one right in here. Tested the BBC, gave an up close with bullish divergence right in here. Now, typically, I might not have gotten into this, but we had a nice trend line there. Nice trend line going down right there. Okay. And over here, the trend line ended up changing here as it approached the BBC, but we had some bearish divergence. So you could have shorted it right here on this down close with this bearish divergence right here. Okay. Over here, you could have gone long on this up close with the bullish divergence, or the break of the trend line. Let's see. Over here, you could have only gone long with the break of the trend line because we didn't test the BBC. I did actually take that trade, and once it gave 4 or 5 ticks profit, I moved my stop to break even. I think I got 1 tick profit on that trade. There were a couple more opportunities in here. I took one of them over here. We had some bullish divergence. It came down, tested the BBC, and gave an up close, but the cycle was moving down, so I didn't want to take that trade. I wanted to wait for it to get on the other side of the trend line, which I did. It moved up, and I moved my stop to break even, and it came back and got me out there. You see, there's just a ton of opportunity in here, and this is the Russell. I'm sorry, this is the NQ. There was also a ton of opportunity on the Russell, for instance, and there was a ton of opportunity on all the markets today. Soybeans. The pre-market of the soybeans is what I was looking at more than once it opened up, but let me bring it up a little farther so you can see the times. See right in here, we had drawn this trend line in here. Once we pulled away from the BBC, we had the bearish cross and all that stuff. We pulled away from the BBC, price pulled back up toward it. We got to close down below it right there for a big move down. It did it again right over here as it was approaching the trend line. There was a close below it right in there for another 2 or 3 cent move. Okay. The NQ, yes, Frank, that's right, $20 a point. Right here it was pulling up to the trend line, but it pulled right through it. Okay. And then it tried to pull back down right here. Did not work out. Meaning it didn't give us any indication on the pull down or when it pulled up here, we didn't have an opportunity to enter. When it pulled down, we didn't have an opportunity to enter. Over here, where it drew down, we drew our trend line down, and there was an opportunity to get long right in there. All right, and that's about somewhere in there is where I stopped paying attention to it. But you can see there was another opportunity right there. Right in here, and a couple more in here too. All right, right in there, and this would have also been one right here for those of you guys who are watching. And that's about all I would have traded on the soybeans if I were trading the soybeans at all this morning, which I wasn't. Again, we ended the morning plus 10 ticks on the NQ, plus 4 ticks on crude oil. Plus 4 ticks on gold, plus 5 ticks on crude oil. So let me bring over the gold so I can show you where we traded over there. Okay, what were we plus 4? Right over here is where we took a short. All right, we came back up, tested the BBC. We had a down close off the BBC right here. So the entry spot was right there. All right, and I was looking for it to get down below this trend line and below the MA1. Once it did that, I moved my stop up to lock in some profit. Okay, this is a little generous right there. I think I actually exited right about there. We had bearish divergence on that as well. Okay, so you guys see that all these 4-tick range things, they're all the same. They're all the same, all the 4-tick range charts. We're doing the same setup with the same indicators, the same everything. Okay. In here, we pulled back up, tested the BBC with bearish divergence right there. Okay, you see the short, and I ended up moving my stop up to break even, and it got me out right over there. Over here, we had tested the BBC with a down close, and I got out of that one pretty quick. It looks like I don't remember what exactly happened on that, but anyway, we did all that stuff. All right, on all the markets here, all the 4-tick range charts, we're doing the same thing. We're looking for the exact same kind of stuff, and there's a ton of opportunity on all of them. All right, using our indicator set and using our setups and our rules, there's a ton of opportunity. Let me bring the crude oil over for you so you can take a look at that one. All right, on the crude, this was the trade that I took on the crude. We had a trend line right here. After we had a bullish cross, price moved up, came back down, tested the BBC, gave us an up close right there. I got long, and I took some profit on it. But you can see how it did it again and again and again. Like in here, All of these were all opportunities right here. Okay? Just so you guys can see that. That's bouncing off our BBC, or as price approaches the BBC, coming off the BBC, getting on the other side of our MA1, getting on the other side of our trend lines, getting on the other side of of anything that we have here. If you have divergence, like we do in most of these, what you anticipate is that the green line is going to work its way down into the cycle, like this, okay? Like it did here, like it did there, here, here. And the thing that does that is price action, okay? The price has got to move to make the green line finish that movement, all right? It diverges down to here. You get an entry right in here somewhere. Let's say you get an entry right in here somewhere, okay? You're anticipating this green line is going to move all the way up into that cycle. So once it gets up into the cycle, then you're anticipating it's going to pull back again, like it does. So then you can look for another opportunity to enter. Okay? Taking little chips out of the market all day long. That's what we do. All right. That's it. Let me wrap it up by saying if you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Sign up for the free trial, and you can take advantage of everything you see here. All we ask for is your name and your email address, and that's it. Okay, your name and your email address. That's it, guys. We're going to wrap it up here for the recording anyway.